Good afternoon. I'm Ron Dunklee with Astrium North America, headquartered here out of Houston. And we work hand in hand with Uli and the Astrium team over in Europe. Since Uli went through and covered quite a bit on our first few charts, we can skip the first 4 or 5 here, which just describe our relationship back to EADS. There we go. Astrium is the North American side of Astrium Space Transportation in Bremen, Germany. We were incorporated here in 1973. We've got 20 folks here in the U.S., 17 in Florida. 17 here in Houston, 3 in Florida. Very experienced team. We average over 15 years experience for each of the persons. And we, other than our office here, our facility in Florida does have integration capabilities and a testing area. We provide everything from fabrication and analysis back through the European side into the integration and testing that we do here on a commercial basis. Next chart, please. Currently, our lines of business, we do software work over in the SDIL. We do both the Columbus and the ATV. We do end-to-end software testing over there, as well as development, bringing the European side of software into those systems. Another big piece of our work has been the integrated cargo carriers. We've been flying those for 12 years on 12 different flights. We actually own that system and we lease it back to NASA. We fly a whole variety of cargoes on there. We've flown UTEF, solar, various experiments from the European side. We've flown Department of Defense cargoes, as well as many orbital replacement units. We do have another team here that also does increment management, both here and on the European side, as well as providing crew training, ground facility sustaining engineering for the ATF and Columbus trainers, and we do logistics and sample returns for the European side. Through this relationship with the European side, we've had to really develop a ITAR experience. So we're very versed in being able to go through the export control hoops and make sure we work well through Department of Commerce and Department of State. Next chart, please. One of the key things we can offer to the folks trying to implement their hardware onto the national lab is our experience from a turnkey perspective. Programmatics are the key to what our personnel do here in Houston. We do everything from interface verification, identifying testing requirements, crew procedures, etc. Next chart, please. As we said, we do the full cycle, including software and hardware. Most of the hardware development we do back through the European side. So the way the team operates here in Houston is the programmatics. The project is run out of the Houston office, and our design work, our engineering, and our analysis is done on the European side. Next chart, please. Some of the capabilities we've done here is, especially in the export control room, if you notice on this last page, through those European connections, we spent a lot of time and effort, and anybody that would like to use all of the hardware that Uli just went through and described on the European side, we're the gateway to helping you get into that, both with the connections to the scientific people, the hardware people, and the processing through export control to use it without any problems. Next page, please. And then just to summarize, coming to us, experiment packaging, hardware developing, payload integration and analysis. We've got the people in place, the teams to do that. We welcome anybody to come over and visit us in the back rooms over here. We're with everybody else at the tables. Would love to speak to you detailed on your projects. Next chart. I guess to summarize, the one thing that we have done over the last 12 years that kind of separates us from other companies doing very similar work is we've had to develop on a commercial basis a very efficient system to both test, integrate, certify, and go through flight readiness of the hardware. So through that system, on a commercial basis, we've had to really cut the processes down to just the bare essentials and get NASA to buy into that. And through that process, we've become very efficient and very cost effective and prefer to do most of our work on a fixed price process. So again, we're in the back room here and sure would appreciate anybody coming by and talk to us. Thank you.